Well, welcome parents and guests and student honorees. First, thank you very much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to celebrate academic achievement of our young people, your children. It is our purpose in each of these academic award program evenings to provide our Spartans with a speaker who they can look to as a role model in the truest sense of the word. If you will, an individual who has made a significant positive difference in the lives of others, the community within which they live. Well, tonight we're extremely, very honored to have a graduate of McFarland High School, 2009, Drew Barrington. Drew went to this school, and I know Drew sat out there many times. Let me tell you a little bit about Drew since he graduated from high school. First off, the biggest thing I know about Drew when he came to the high school was I was really nervous that there might be a coup d'etat. Because he at the middle school was instrumental, and it was like a revolution down there to get breadsticks in the middle school. So he ran on a platform of breadstick boy, and he was successful. And my greatest fear as a principal so far in my 22 years here is what would he run as when he was the president of the student council here. And thankfully, it did get the breadsticks. So, here we go. Breadsticks, the Rhodes Scholar. I'll be done, huh? So, Drew is a 2014 Rhodes Scholar. He joins an elite group of students that have received one of the top honors for higher education. Drew will be invited to spend 2 to 3 years of study at Oxford in England, Oxford University. The price or value of what he's getting from the Rhodes Scholar Foundation, the scholarship, is valued at about $50,000 plus per year on an average. Barrington is a fifth year, right? Drew is a fifth-year student. Get a load of this. Triple majoring in political science, biochemistry, and biomedical engineering. Now, at Oxford, Drew hopes to combine those areas of study, political science, biochemistry, and biomedical engineering, to prepare for a career in global health and international development. Developmental studies focusing on public health and the theories, themes, and economics of development. Drew, in college, among other things, was involved in Engineers Without Borders. He traveled to Kenya, which I suspect got him kind of revved up in the development process. For his senior project, now imagine this at college, his biomedical engineering, Drew worked with a team of 4 other students, okay, to design an infant cardiorespiratory monitor capable of monitoring for cessation of respiration and pulse in infants. In other words, if they aren't breathing, they don't have heartbeat. Intended for use in developing countries, the device uses reusable components, is battery powered, and designed to withstand rugged conditions for a decent price of $1.70 per unit. Now, one of his professors said that of his 6 years as a mentor for the group that works on these types of projects, senior projects, he has not seen such leadership from an undergraduate involved in the program. Now, this is a guy that's retired from the university after many years. Candidates are judged to be a scholar, a Rhodes Scholar, on a proven record of intellectual and academic achievement, integrity, of character, interest in and respect for others, leadership ability, and energy. Okay? I'm going to read those again. Students. They're based on not just intellectual record, that's there, and academic achievement, but also the integrity of character, interest in and respect for others, leadership ability, and the energy to fully utilize their talents. Folks, if this young man isn't a good role model for us this evening as we celebrate your children's academic success, frankly, I don't know where we go. So, let's give one of our very own, Drew Barrington, a Spartan welcome. Drew.
Thank you, Mr. Hickey. It's good to be back here tonight. So I want to extend my own greetings. So good evening, parents, friends, teachers, and of course, students. I'm honored and excited to be here tonight to celebrate your academic achievements. Being that this is the second time in the last 2 months that I'll be speaking in front of some of you, I'll try to keep it brief. Plus, if I remember correctly from my own time out there in the audience, there's usually cake or treats of some sort after. And let's be honest, if I had to choose between listening to myself speak and brownies or something like that, I know the choice is clear, and so I can only imagine how clear the choice is for you guys. I thought a lot about what I wanted to say tonight, and I finally settled on talking about the things I wish I'd either been told or learned while I was in high school. Unfortunately, giving inspirational or motivational speeches isn't really my thing. As you may have heard, I'll be receiving my undergraduate degree in biomedical engineering in May. And if there are any engineers in the house, is anyone out there an engineer? I think I'm seeing a few hands. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, the whole public speaking thing. Well, let's just say it's harder for some of us than rocket science. But fortunately, I've had a little help. I read a book recently by Dr. Paul Farmer entitled To Repair the World. Paul Farmer speaks to the next generation. The book, which I strongly recommend, is a compilation of Dr. Farmer's speeches to inspire the next generation, many of whom are in the audience right now, to tackle some of the world's most challenging problems. I'll let you read his inspiring details for yourself, but the relevant item for tonight is that he never makes more than 3 points in a speech, and I'll follow his motto. So, here are the 3 things I wish I had learned in high school. The first one is that after high school, nobody cares about the things that you did in high school. All they care about is who you became. Somewhere in one of the archive folders on my computer, I have a 3-page resume I put together in high school that I send in with my college applications. I was really excited about this resume because I thought it would set me out for college. I thought I'd be all set, and all I would ever have to do is add things to it. To keep it brief, by my sophomore year in college, the only thing left from my high school resume was that I graduated from McFarland High School. Then, when I submitted my resume for a career services review, it came back, and the last vestige of high school, that one line saying where I went, had been crossed off. They didn't think it was important where I went to high school, and the only thing they had left on there was the fact that I went to UW-Madison. Ouch. However, the take-home message for you from this is that who you are speaks volumes about your experiences. And a 3-page resume is just that. It's 3 pages. So I encourage all of you to keep that in mind and use it as justification as you explore new things and really dive into the things that you really love with both feet and enjoy the experience. Because as I found out from that experience, what you gain from it is far more important than the line you'll ever put on that resume. The second piece of advice I wish someone had given me is that failure does happen, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing. I'm sure you've all heard the term constructive criticism. It's our way of saying not everything is perfect, but giving advice for improvement rather than just pointing out the faults. It is possible to get nearer to perfection. The same logic applies to failures, and that choice is up to you. You can decide to fail constructively or fail destructively. My advice to you is that you always do the former. Always fail constructively. Because at times, the lessons you learn are even more important than if you had succeeded. I have to admit, it must seem hard for you to take this advice from me convincingly, when all you probably hear about are my recent successes, as Dr. Hickey went ahead and laid many of them out. While I'm proud of all these achievements, very proud of all of them, they are built on the lessons I learned from my failures, the things you don't read in the paper. I realized the importance of failing constructively very quickly in my freshman year at UW-Madison when I failed my first calculus midterm, which accounted for 25% of my final grade. And then, subsequently that week, got a BC, which is basically a B- on my first chemistry midterm. At this point, I could have very easily failed destructively and accepted that I was bad at calculus and terrible at chemistry and I should start looking for a new major. However, I spent the next 2 weeks meeting with my professors and finding tutors to figure out why I had done so badly and to try and improve my performance. That was a major turning point for me and had little to do with the fact that I had failed, but rather what I decided to do after I failed. With this advice, I encourage you all to try the things that you're too afraid to because you're afraid that you might fail. I hope you all find success. However, you may very well fail at first, but fail constructively, and I have no doubt you'll eventually find success. The last and final piece of advice I want to give you tonight is that you are your own best advocate. This is a lesson I learned in one of the most high-stakes situations possible. It came 3 years ago at the end of my study abroad experience in Bangalore, India, at the Indian Institute of Science. At the end of my program, I was preparing to leave Bangalore and fly back to Chicago. However, security stopped me at the gate and told me I couldn't leave because I had not registered with the police station when I arrived. I'll ignore the irony of not being able to fly back to the United States with a US passport, and instead focus on the fact that for the first time in my life, I had a problem that was my sole responsibility to solve. Granted, I had an army of people willing to help in any way possible, both in Madison and in Bangalore, if and when I asked. However, I was the only person who could go to the police station and convince them that they needed to give me the proper registration so I could leave the country. 5 days and one important life lesson later, I landed in Chicago. I hope none of you ever learned this lesson the way that I did, but what I want you to take from this anecdote is that when you can be your own best advocate. You don't need anyone's approval to take initiative. As a very pertinent example for many of you, don't wait for your parents to schedule college campus visits or a teacher to approach you with a scholarship application like I did in high school. You can pick up the phone, send an email, or write an application yourself. You can be your own best advocate. Well, according to Dr. Farmer's advice, that's it, 3 lessons. No one cares about what you did in high school, they care about who you became. Failure doesn't have to be a bad thing, as long as you fail constructively. And you can be your own best advocate. I hope these pieces of advice hit home for some of you, and you can learn from them much before I did. Now I'm going to break Dr. Farmer's advice and give you one more piece of advice. Make sure you enjoy tonight and celebrate your accomplishments, because that's important and you deserve it. And of course, enjoy the free food afterwards.
So at this point, if the individuals receiving certificates would kind of collect in front and then over that way, alphabetizing themselves, A there, Z kind of here, and we'll run you up the stage. Okay, so all the certificate people, you should know who you are. While they're acclimating themselves, students, just so you know, are parents. This organization, this whole program was put together by our secondary parent school council some time ago, very long ago actually. And the way it works, if you're wondering, it's in the handbook, but I know there's some questions, interestingly enough, as to how does a kid get to this? Well, the kid should be able to tell you that they earn 1 point for each term they are on honor roll. And students earn 2 points for each term they are on high honor roll. When a student accumulates 8 points, they get an academic certificate, 12 points, they get an academic letter, 20 points an academic medal, and 28 points over the course of their 4 years, they would get an academic plaque. So you'll see different grade levels at different points as those kids earn those honors. It's about progress. So that's the scoop on the program. And let us begin. I'm going to ask interim dean here, under assistant principal, Mrs. Nichols, who I know probably chatted and taught the Honorable Drew Barringcott that helped Drew here with the certificates. And I'm just going to get a little organized. So, Drew, you're here. Okay. Okay, let us begin. We'll begin with Ben Ale. Students, as you come out, just kind of cruise over to stage left. I think it's called over here. And we'll build a semicircle. And hold your applause till everyone is done. Shireen Ali. Evan Oswald. Annie Bailey. Jessica Berry. Elena DeVita. Parker Eversole. Catherine Faith. Connor Glassbrenner. Crystal Gobin. Megan Harden. Ian Kelly. Carter Clace. Madeline Loss. Maximilian Maderski. Molly Malewski. Jessica Ryder. Logan Reese. Benjamin Rounds. Jacob Sand. Rebecca Severson. Teba Saida. Milan Thee. Timothy Valen. And Jade Belker. Okay, how about a big round of applause for this crowd? Thank you very much. Pretty sharp looking bunch, I'll tell you that. Pretty sharp looking bunch. Nice job. Congratulations, we'll see you back here. Okay, if the individuals who are eligible for the letters, please come forward. And the other half of the Ale clan will be leading. This time it'll be Peter Ale for A, and you'll line up over there. As we're waiting a little bit here, just a reminder too, we have some delectable treats out the food court when we're done, and certainly you may want to have someone might want to be chatting with a good alum here, Drew Berenschot. Drew is also responsible, a footnote, for the park that's on Falling Leaves Lane. I remember it's part of the Eagle project. So we went from donuts, or what do you call it, breadsticks, to parks. Okay, I think we're kind of ready. Peter, are you ready? It looks like a, yeah, head up. Sure, good. Okay, the letters, these individuals, to get to a letter, have had to earn 12 points. And remember, 1 point for honor roll, 2 points for high honor. So we'll start, and again, please hold your applause until they're all lined up here in a perfect semicircle. Peter Ale. April Barr. Josh Bolstead. Elena Breezy. Brittany Brew. Madeline Demio. Samantha Egner. Taylor Ennis. Krista, I knew I was going to chop this one. Sorry, Krista. You come out though. I know it's a rhyme actually to me. Krista Grabowski. Christina Grabowski. Sorry, kid. I tried. Anessa Hacker. Natalie Hansen. Heidi Hartman. Joseph Heiser. Bailey Jackson. Kevin Jordan. Ian Kelly. Julia King. Nathan Liebeck. Jack Molitor. Lydia Muny. Jessica Naves. Zoe Papali Beatty. Annika Paulson. Natalie Robb. Mia Shunk. Jacob Springer. Joshua Stolen. You saw a mugshot in the library recently. This is the man that shot at me. If you haven't seen it, because there'd be unbelievable. Okay. I mean, I can say something about everybody. When he draws a picture of me that good, considering his stock, you gotta give it to him. Haley Stoneman. Saliha Sahida. Austin Wells. Madison Whiting. Alex Wolf. And Zachary Wolf. Okay, if you guys kind of want to just move that down a little bit, oh, that's good. So, hopefully there's some pictures being taken out there, but let's give it up to the people who have won letters, these students. Good job. Okay, at this point, the medal people can traverse, get over that way. We're going to start with Rebecca Allworth. Should note that while we're waiting for this group to organize, we have you saw a banner out there. I think it said the call letters for our radio station. I know couple of the people involved with that station, Austin Wells and Joe Heiser are here, but it's 96.3 FM something radiocast. Check out our webpage. That's not it, okay? I'm going to do a little plug for you guys. Medals. Joe, just trying to get some airtime for you guys. Okay, we're ready to roll? Now, these individuals are medal awardees. To get a medal, if you look in your program there, they would need 12 points. They need 20 points to get the academic medal. Now, those people that just picked up the letters, they're coming. The letters, don't forget, you can wear those letters or cash the letter in for, one of those chenilles or a metal pin. So you can do that in the office if you already have 6 letters for various sports. You can get a little pin and we'll put that on your letter. Okay, wear it proudly. Medals, Rebecca Allwork. William Bacon. Michael Bean. Aaron Burgett. McKenna DeFord. Ryan Hildebrand. Maria Hilders. Naomi Howard. Wow. Benjamin Hunt. Mariah Jones. Caitlin Lauersdorf. Michael Menblink. Charlie Moore. William Muni. Susan Mulhern. Emily Merwin. Anne Marie Zahn. You betcha. Let's put it up for the group earning lean medal. Stage left. Well, stage right. Stage right. Okay, now we're going to go to the plaques. It's the top honor, and to get that, there'll be a number of seniors. Actually, that will have some of them mailed to them. Unfortunately, it takes 28 points to get there, and again, there'll be a fair number after this this ceremony. We mail them all this summer. So, okay, our plaques, 28 points. Again, thank you very much for coming and honoring your students in our learning community here, and having a chance to hear from one of our very own, Drew Berenkai. So with this, we'll begin with, I believe she's already there, yep, Hannah Barton. Sarah Bennett. Nope, Rookdahl. Anthony Donegan. Katie Heitman. Zachary Orm. Fine group. Let's put it up for them. Okay, I don't know, Austin, if you can turn up the house lights or not, or whoever's back there, if you can, it'd be nice. Just FYI, if we can, if anyone has any pictures of this, greatly appreciate a couple pictures sent to me, and I want to try to get them all both in the newspaper, that kind of stuff. So greatly appreciate it. Let me know what it costs me. Okay. Now, I just want to say a couple things. We've had a lot of celebrations here over the last week, a couple weeks, but I'm going to have people stand if they're there. But this past Saturday, we had a number of students participate in solo ensemble. Any of the students in solo ensemble, can you stand? Stand. Don't be bashful. Keep standing, keep standing. We also, keep standing. We also had some students take first ever from McFarland High School in the Visual Arts Classic. Are any of those students among us? I would think there'd be some. Raise your hand if you want to. Where are you? Where are you? Who is you back there? Where? Oh, there. We got a couple. Put your hands up. Wave them. Have you later. There you go. Back there. Over there. About 5 or 6 students involved in that. So, okay. Just to give you some idea of what cooks out there with our students, and you got to be proud. Students, thanks for standing. You can now sit. Thank you. Geez, they listen well when their parents are here, huh? Now, just a friendly reminder, tomorrow we have the reality zone, so juniors, you have a chance to get real. And if there are any seniors out there, there is money in the bank waiting for you, but you have to get your McFarland Education Foundation and the general scholarship form in by 4 o'clock Friday. 4 Friday. And just take one of those things, I think it was the third point Drew said, you have to self-advocate. So seniors, get it in. And have someone look it over, do it upright, and there's money in the bank, and we thank the McFarland Education Foundation and all of our scholarship providers for our kids. Now, some of you might have got an obnoxious phone call between the program and supper time, so knowing that that might have disrupted your supper, or you'll get it when you get home, there are very nice treats in the food court, and just enjoy. And thank you for coming.